NAACP Collaborative Community Forum. I'm Dr. Michelle Patrick, the Education Chair of the Louisville Branch NAACP. Before we begin, I'm happy to inform you that our forums will be in person throughout the year, and the forums will be in different locations to meet the needs of the community. I first would like to thank Dr. Polio for allowing us to use the Van Stewart Auditorium tonight. And these forums will be placed on YouTube in the upcoming days. Please share that information with members of your organization and your family members, because if they didn't make it tonight, they can at least go and look at it on YouTube. Tonight, the topic is Journey to Success. The discussion will be around the revamping of the Backpacks of Success skills and how it connects to JCPS Board of Education goals and guardrails. Our guest speakers tonight are Dr. Sparks and Dr. Brooks. Both of these wonderful young ladies are not, well, they're younger than me, are in the academic department here. Dr. Speaks is the Executive Administrator of JCPS Academics. And Ms. Brooks, Dr. Brooks is also in that Department of Academics. There will also be a question and answer period, and you will get a chance to ask some questions as well as I. We will begin with a brief introduction, 2 minutes from them about themselves, and we'll begin with Dr. Speaks.
All right. Thank you all for being here tonight. I am Dr. Danae Speaks. I am the Executive Administrator of JCPS Academics. And really, that role encompasses a number of different things. I am over professional learning in the district, as well as academic innovation. And academic innovation is where this work comes into play. And so with academic innovation, we are looking at ways to make sure that the student learning experience is one that is engaging, is one that is tailored to meet the needs of each student. And so with academic innovation, there are a number of strategies that we're looking to incorporate to ensure that students are fully engaged in their own education, and that the student as a learner is the focus of what we're doing each and every day in the classroom. So academic innovation is one portion of what I do, but in this work, it has led us to looking at what is the student learning experience and how can we streamline that student learning experience across the JCPS district so that no matter what school you go into, you can have a positive student learning experience. We formerly had, as a part of our department, deeper learning resource teachers. And deeper learning is a part of what academic innovation is. And so we've taken kind of academic innovation as the umbrella, and we continue to work through and think through strategies for deeper learning for students. Academic innovation, the academic innovation leads are resource teachers in our department who work solely on academic innovation. And Dr. Brooks leads those resource teachers through academic innovation and working with principals, schools directly, teachers, academic instructional coaches, and so on. So Dr. Brooks.
Hello everyone, my name is Erica Brooks, and I am an academic innovation specialist in the academics department. And so what we really do with academic innovations is really trying to make sure that across the board and streamline in all JCPS schools, the students have a real, true, authentic experience with learning, as well as making sure that we can bring in some of those community aspects of what our students are doing outside in the community and really embedding that in through their journey as a learner. And you'll hear more about that in our presentation this evening. In addition to the academic innovation, Academies of Louisville also falls under academic innovation, and the Explore Pathways also falls under academic innovation. So we really try to make sure that we're not only incorporating what they're doing in school, but really streamlining those business connections and those types of things within school settings.
Thank you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and walk through the slideshow to really explain to you what the Journey to Success is, how it came to be, and what we want for students as we go through this process with the Journey to Success. So So again, the journey to success is about, is the backpack revamp. So if you are familiar with JCPS, then you know that we have had the backpack of success skills since 2018, okay? With the backpack of success skills, we had artifacts, we had success skills, and those are the competencies or the attributes that we want students to be able to exhibit when they graduate. So we had success skills, we had artifacts, and then we also had backpack defenses. So if you look in the booklet that you have in the playbook, you will be able to see what those success skills are on page 6 and 7. We have prepared and resilient learner, productive collaborator, emergent innovator, effective communicator, and globally and culturally competent citizen. Those are 5 competencies that we want all students to be able to exhibit by the time they graduate from JCPS. We work on these success skills starting in kindergarten and on through their journey as a learner. So we want these success skills to be embedded into everything that they're doing, so that it's not just students acquiring academic skills, they're also acquiring some of those soft skills, some of those skills that they will need when they're working with businesses, when they're in the community, when they are standing before you speaking. All of those skills are also things that we want to be able to cultivate. So we still have the success skills, which again started in 2018 when we began this work. Also artifacts. So with the artifacts, this is work that is accumulated across time. So it could be assignments that they have in class, hopefully assignments that exhibit quality work. And those artifacts are presented in a way that shows how much the student has learned and how they are connected to the success skills when the student presents at their defense of learning. And then the backpack defense was also a component of the original backpack of success skills as well. We needed to update the backpack of success skills because our Board of Education has adopted goals and guardrails. And with these goals and guardrails, part of that work is really looking at more than just the academic assessments that students take in order to get a more comprehensive picture of what students know and what they are able to do. So in doing so, the academic readiness measures, as you can see first, start with the academic attainment, and that has to do with all of those academic assessment benchmarks that students take, from MAP testing, CERT testing, all of those types of things. The academic assessment benchmarks are still a part of what we want to know because we need to know what students can do as far as reading, math, all of those types of things. So we have the academic assessment benchmarks, and then the second part of that, though, is the defense of learning. How are students able to exhibit those success skills? How can they communicate those success skills and their journey as a learner through those success skills along the way? And so putting those two things together gives you a composite score. With that composite score, you get more comprehensive evidence of what students are able to do when they graduate. So we are seeing this model as our local accountability. We talk a lot about state accountability and what the state is looking for, and really what the state cares about is whatever the federal mandates are. And they're looking at reading, math, writing, social studies, science. We also care about all of those things. However, we know that those are not the only indicators that show us what a student knows and is able to do. We know that those tests are also not always friendly for all students. They can be biased. There are a number of things that goes into standardized testing. And so instead of only looking at what a standardized test says about a student, we also want to be able to look at what students can demonstrate on their own by standing and doing a defense of learning. What can they demonstrate that they have learned along the way? So again, a more comprehensive view of what a student knows and is able to do. Not just academic skills, but also dispositions that they have acquired along the way. So this represents that holistic view of readiness, and really we want to know, is the student ready at every level, from elementary to middle school? Are they ready to go to middle school? Are they ready to go to high school? Are they ready for secondary? Are they ready for career? Are they ready for college? What to make sure that students have the skills that they need for the next level of learning. This document shows a very technical view of how the composite score will be calculated. Again, there is an academic assessment benchmark In order to be ready with academic assessment benchmark, students need a 3.5 or higher in order to be ready. And then on the defensive learning side, they need a 3.5 or better to score a ready on any defensive learning. And then if they are a 3.4 or below, that means that they are ready with support, and a 3.5 or above will be ready. So we have these indicators for elementary, for middle, and for secondary, and those indicators will be what is determining whether or not students are ready or if they still need support in order to be ready. So after looking at the local accountability and what our Board of Education wanted, we had to determine how we could take the old backpack of success skills and tweak it in such a way to make it more meaningful to students and to make sure that it measures what we wanted to measure. Because really it's about student learning experience. And really it's about what students are able to demonstrate that they know across time. So we kept the foundational components of the backpack of success skills, but we focused the work on the student's journey as a learner instead of emphasizing artifacts. It's not just about the things, it's not just about the stuff. It's about who the student is, who they have become as a learner as they have progressed throughout school.
And so with this piece, what we've been able to do is really break that down and show you all how we're looking at Journey to Success. So we're still keeping the artifacts component. So that's that quality work protocol. What is really quality work that's going into our students' journey to success, or that's going into their defenses? And you'll hear us later talk a little bit about milestones and exhibitions of learning. But what we're really looking at is what is the work that's really going to move this forward for our students. The next piece is really having a real, authentic reflection. So our students are now being able to reflect on their artifact that's going to prepare them for their journey as a learner later, or later on in life when they become citizens. And then that's through our success skill component. So we have those 5 success skills. So we're really looking at how are we streamlining that work for our students. And then the next thing, which is really exciting, is that we now have milestones. So those are milestones at every single grade level for our students through those success skills. So it's no longer just 5th, 8th, or 12th grade. We're looking at milestones from K to 12. Just imagine what that would be like if you start out in kindergarten, really doing this work, and then you are now a 12th grader. What is that going to look like for our students as a learner? That's going to be powerful, pretty powerful. And then we have our video that we'd like to show you guys.
Greetings, Jefferson County community members. I am excited to share of our diverse shared world. This initiative represents a collective effort towards enhancing our academic community and fostering success for all. I would like to introduce you to Journey to Success, a revision of our former backpack of success skills, which provides a mechanism for honoring each student's journey as a learner, while also contributing to our local measures for local accountability. Journey to Success actualizes our mission to challenge and engage each learner to grow through effective teaching and meaningful experiences within caring, supportive environments. At the heart of this work are students like Joshua, Jack, and Rosiah, and our desire to see them grow as individuals. At its core, the Journey to Success initiative aims to inspire, uplift, and empower our students to own their path to success, streamline the systems and tools used for each component, provide a renewed focus on the student's success through quality work at all grade levels by incorporating milestone checkpoints in addition to defenses of learning, and honor each student's journey as a learner by personalizing learning experiences and recognizing learning that occurs beyond the past.
To achieve these goals, we have developed a detailed plan that includes our continuing success skills that represent what students should know and be able to do, and artifacts that represent quality work and alignment to success skills.
Also, we are now emphasizing the need to think about our learning through reflections of artifacts that help us make connections between academic learning and the success skills. We have also added milestone checkpoints that provide meaningful opportunities for students to demonstrate the growth and development of knowledge and skills with an authentic audience.
Finally, we are continuing to focus on defenses of learning, which are the culminating activities where students showcase their development and who they are as a learner at pivotal points in their educational career. We now have refined guidelines and consistent expectations in notebooks across schools.
So, how might you highlight and support Journey to Success in your own context? If you're a parent or guardian, initially you may see brochures, posters, rubrics, and other supporting documents to provide clear messaging for all stakeholders. As the year progresses, there should be evidence your students are internalizing the success skills, producing quality work, and have opportunities to present this work in meaningful ways. You should be invited to see milestone checkpoints in action, such as exhibitions of learning, mini defenses, or student-led conferences. If you're a community member, this initiative is a shared responsibility, and each one of us has a vital role to play in its success. It's important that you too know and understand the success skills and work to support artifact development through internships, events, mentoring, or even advertising ways students can see those connections in your own business. We know that community is key. Whether you are a JCPS educator passionate about student learning, a family member working to strengthen student achievement, or a community member supporting our mission of building the future, your commitment and engagement are crucial. We hope you will take the opportunity to stand with us in honoring students as they learn and grow. As we embark on this journey to success together, I invite you to embrace this opportunity to contribute to our collective growth and success. Let us work hand in hand to create an academic environment where every member of our community can flourish. Thank you for your attention and dedication to the JCPS mission. Together, we will make this journey a remarkable success. We are JCPS.
So as you can see, those amazing kids, they're capable of so many things, and we just want to be able to highlight that. We want students to be able to know that this is the product of their learning. They're not just in school to learn, sit and do, turn in assignments. It's not about whether or not they can turn in assignments. I think most students show that they're proficient in turning in assignments pretty early on. We know they can do that. What are they learning? And how are they going to transfer that learning into making sure that it is something that's doable, into something that can show their skills? How can we showcase that? And so this is what this work is about. So again, just to review, we used to have the success skills. We are keeping that. We have performance indicators for each of those success skills. We also have defenses at 5th, 8th, and 12th grade, and we also have artifacts for success skills. But what's changing is that we now have streamlined rubrics across the district, because what we were seeing was this school would have this on a rubric, this school would have this on a rubric. We're not really looking at the same things. Some schools have, did he dress up? Does he have on a shirt and tie? Well, other schools are only looking at what they're saying, what they're actually able to demonstrate. And we wanted to make sure that no matter where you are, you have the same experience. So we had to streamline those rubrics and make sure that we're focused on the right things. We also have this playbook that you all have a copy of that really lines out for schools and for everyone what the district expectations are, and also what the school has discretion on. The school has to be able to make decisions based on their own population and what their students need. So schools have a lot of discretion with a lot of this, but they do have to follow those district expectations. Then again, we have milestones at the grades that are not defensive learning grades. So again, defenses of learning, 5th, 8th, and 12th, milestones at every other grade level. K1, 2, 4, they will all have to complete a milestone. 6th and 7th, they have to complete a milestone. 9th, 10th, 11th, they have to complete a milestone, because no longer can this work just be on the shoulders of the 5th, 8th, and the 12th grade. Everyone has to be accountable for this work. We'll also train our educators in order to be able to score. Use those rubrics, use them correctly, understand why we're using those rubrics, and then also training for external panel members. So those people who want to come in and be able to sit on defenses of learning, you absolutely can. Be able to give input and all of those types of things. We just need to be able to train those people in order to make sure they have a good understanding of what it is we're looking for and what makes a great defense. Also, we have a new digital platform where students defenses of learning will be scored, so that it takes away the human aspect of actual scoring. We put those scores in, it'll calculate it for us, and it gives us the composite score for their defense. Eventually, students will also be using the digital platform to upload their artifacts there as well. We also have the artifact reflections because we want students to be able to make the connection between the work that they're doing and the success skill that that work demonstrates. We need students to be able to make those connections and not the adults making those connections for students. And then now, students have the opportunity to have an external source for their artifacts as well. It's not just about, it doesn't have to just be the work that they've done in a class. We know that students learn everywhere. Learning does not only happen in school, sitting at desks. So as students have artifacts from the community, from their community service, or from a job that they have, or from church, or wherever they have artifacts from, those artifacts also can be honored as a part of their learning journey. If it is something that they feel is valuable to who they are as a learner, the student can use it as an artifact as well. So we're going to walk through and kind of look at the artifacts, the milestones, and the defenses of learning that are in the book, just so that we can kind of see what some of those guidelines are throughout the playbook.
So I'll start with your artifacts. So with the artifacts, they are across those 5 success skills that we talked about. And those can be, those high quality work protocols that we talked about earlier. It's really a key thing for really students to have that authentic learning. No more do we want to see that cookie cutter of what we were seeing before with the defenses where you go in the classroom, if you're doing a science project, everybody has the same artifact. So it's really beautiful to be able to have those students bring in some of those authentic experiences from their communities or from what they're doing currently. So we're really making sure that the artifacts are not just the same across the board, but that the student gets an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I really feel like that's a prepared and resilient learner artifact. For example, and I can speak to this, young lady at a local high school at J-Town, she does hair. So that, to me, is a beautiful artifact for her to incorporate into her backpack of success skills. That's a skill that she can take and go on and utilize at her school, or that she can utilize in her community, that she can actually benefit from. So that can go across 2 or more those success skills that we really talked about. So really thinking about our students and what they already possess. What do they already have? So they come in with all kinds of things. So now it's being able to, our journey to success is now able to tap into those and pull those out and say, hey, you do hair, like let's put that artifact, like that's an artifact that you can use. So that's really what our artifacts are looking at, and that's what we're really gearing toward, bringing out those quality artifacts that our students can use across the band, across grade bands, and that will implement and enhance the success skills. And so we also have, we talked about earlier, those real unified defense of learning rubrics. So you have those defense of learning rubrics across grades 5, across grade 8, and across grade 12. And those are in your playbook. But the joy about that is we're really looking at how we're scoring students. Are they ready to move on? What does that look like? And just really being more uniform in the way we are being equitable when it comes to our defense of learning rubrics, and not just having one school do something on an artifact or rubric and another school does something. It's not really giving our students a fair chance. So we really wanted to make sure that we are streamlining all of the rubrics and making sure that our students are ready, are meeting those expectations. And then I talked earlier about the milestones. So with the milestones, those are in grades K through 4. Then you have milestones for grades 6 and 7. And then you have milestones for grade 9 through 11. So the milestones are something that they can complete. They only need one milestone per school year. And with the milestones, those can be demonstrated in student-led conferences or exhibitions of learning or mini defenses. I know that so many schools have already jumped on board with utilizing this up-and-coming parent-teacher conference. So even utilizing the up-and-coming parent-teacher conference as a student-led conference counts as a milestone. And with the community piece, so families and community members can participate in this new journey to success and participate in those milestone experiences, those exhibitions of learning and artifact showcases. Students now have the option, as I've said before, to really bring in those personal goals and experiences into those artifacts. And with our new updated website, we now have rubrics that go along with each milestone experience. We've also incorporated with the exhibitions of learning, a planning guide of how to plan that out and how to invite families. We even incorporated an invitation letter for you to invite families into the exhibitions of learning and milestone experiences for students.
So we have one more video that we want to show you. This is a video that can be shown to students, and our schools have shown the video to students to get students excited and to see other students in the video actually exhibiting many of the skills that we want them to show every day.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Jack, and I'm super excited to tell you about something awesome coming up. It's called the Journey to Success. This initiative is about celebrating who we are as learners and highlighting our learning journey beyond just grades and tests. It's all about showcasing our skills, experiences, and growth throughout our time here at school. Right, Joshua?
Exactly. Journey to Success encourages us to reflect on our learning and demonstrate the success skills through different activities like student-led conferences and many differences in learning. These opportunities allow us to present artifacts that represent our achievements and the challenges we overcome. What do you think, Rosalia?
Yes, the journey to success isn't just about grades, it's about us all reaching our goals. It's not just about showing off what we've learned, it's about demonstrating how we've learned it. We'll have exhibitions of learning where we can share our journey in depth with our peers, teachers, families, and the community. It's like creating a portfolio that paints a picture of who we are as learners beyond what the test scores can show. By participating in defenses of learning, we get to articulate the skills we've acquired along the way, and we can bring our own personalities into it. It's a chance to take pride in our progress and celebrate our growth with the entire school community.
So let's embrace this initiative together. Whether you're into art, sciences, sports, or anything else, Journey to Success is designed to showcase and celebrate every aspect of who we are as learners. Get ready to share your story and inspire others with your journey to success.
Every one of us has a story worth telling, and Journey to Success gives us the platform to tell it. Let's make our learning journey meaningful, memorable, and reflective of our true potential.
With Journey to Success, we can build a profile that reflects our unique strengths and interests and shape our own narrative. Whether it's TikTok dancing, volunteering in the community, or playing a sport, we are learning, growing, and now we will have the opportunity to showcase that. Thanks for listening, and get ready to be part of something amazing. See you on the journey.
We are JCPS.
So we do have a website for Journey to Success. All of the resources that we shared tonight are on the website. The videos are on the website. The rubrics, the planning guide, all of those resources are all on the website on Journey to Success. We also have a playlist of videos that are on YouTube, and these two students, a few other videos that kind of drill down into specifics about each component are also on that playlist as well. So the resources are there for you. Please, please, please use those resources, and we are more than happy to answer all of your questions.
Yeah, we can sit. I think we can talk loud enough, but don't you think so that we don't? Can you hear us over there? Okay. I'm glad that you all outlined the difference, because that was number one question I had. What was the difference? And I'm glad you did. One of the things that I had a problem with as an educator is that when the old program I thought was pretty much subjective, because there were no set rubrics. Other people were doing what they wanted to do. When I heard that, I thought, well, how are we truly measuring the child's performance? And this reminded me a whole lot of back in the day when I was teaching, that they did what was called authentic assessments. And it was part of your portfolio.
Yes.
Now, as we look at this, how you all connecting this with the goals and guardrails that the district, the JCPS board has put out? Because I've read those goals and those guardrails, and I'm thinking, is that very challenging? But how are you doing it? How are you gonna put that all together?
One of the goals has to do with defenses of learning. So getting schools prepared to be able to have quality defenses of learning. So that they're not the cookie cutter defenses of learning that you may have seen in the past where everybody has the same template and everybody has the same artifacts that they're sharing. Or so that, again, the rubrics are not necessarily scoring the same types of things. And so putting some things out there that are district-wide, having these district expectations, providing professional learning for principals, for AICs, for school teams, providing them with a ton of resources to prepare them to actually, for students to be able to actually demonstrate and have quality work and quality defenses of learning along the way is our contribution to the goals of Guardrails. Now, of course, we're in academics, we're also a part of all of the other goals that have to do with map testing and all of those types of things as well. But in particular, Journey to Success, the metric there is the defenses of learning.
So we are still measuring whether or not I'm reading on grade level.
Absolutely. That is absolutely still part of accountability.
I have another question for you. How do you know that the program results are better and have improved student outcomes? How do you all know that?
The students tell us.
Yes. The students did.
The students is who's gonna tell us whether or not outcomes are improving, because this is their, with Journey to Success and defenses of learning, this is their opportunity to share what they have learned. And when students can voice on their own what their learning is and they can articulate that, that's when we win. When they do it in their own way and they have the platform and they're able to do a video or a podcast or however they wanna do it and show us what they've learned, and if they can articulate that, then we know that we've done what we're supposed to do.
How do you categorize the district, this initiative? Do you categorize it as enrichment, celebration, or remediation? How do you categorize that?
I definitely would, I guess it would be acceleration because, it's not remediation, it's not, enrichment because, this is not anything extra. This is not an intervention. This is tier one. This is what everyone is getting, and this is the expectation for everybody. So we're attempting to accelerate learning in this by helping students to be more engaged in their own learning and care more about their learning, be more motivated to be able to demonstrate learning. Not many students are motivated to come in, sit down, and bubble in answers on a test. But a lot of students get motivated to be able to show you what they can do. Braiding hair or playing the flute or, whatever it is, they're motivated to demonstrate their learning in multiple ways. And when we allow them to demonstrate their learning in ways that are reflective of them, we honor their identity instead of just having them come in and be robots and, sit and do the same things we've been doing for as long as education has been around, then that's when we're making progress.
Anyone else have a que- I have, she got a question, yes.
I was gonna ask, because just thinking about how you guys said different schools are doing different things, and just knowing that different schools have different support systems and different, I would say the atmosphere in some schools is more so that this is a school where you can tell students are supported with the education, and walking into a school where you see students probably didn't anticipate on staying the whole day. What does that look like on their backpacks? Because you could say, oh, their backpack is amazing, but I'm still trying to understand, do you guys see a difference in that? Or what is it really? I don't know if I'm trying to explain try to make the best out of what they have, and that's all they can do, but I don't know, I'm just trying to.
So I'm glad you asked that question. So let me fill you in a little bit on my background. I come from an alternative school setting. So I came from state agency schools within JCPS. I was a special ed teacher for a very long time, 14 years or 12 years. So I've had that opportunity to really work with that type of population. And then currently in J-Town, right now I'm working with their C2G, and that's Chargers to Graduate, and that is a prevention Chargers to Graduate, C2G. And so what that program is built for their high school seniors who are struggling to graduate, who may not have those college credits. So what I've done is gone into the classroom and worked one-on-one with each student to make sure that they have some form of quality backpack artifact. And some of those students came with nothing, absolutely nothing. And just imagine having to be a 12th grade student, and there are 7 artifacts that they have to have by the time they're in 12th grade. But some of these students have had all kinds of life struggles. So what I've been able to do is go into the classroom and pull those things out that they're doing in the community, that they're doing right now. For example, I could speak to a young man who is really interested in podcasting. So what we've done is we connected him with a local podcasting group here in Louisville, and he's actually going to intern with the podcast. So really just thinking outside of the amount of artifacts and outside of just what they're able to do, but really pulling out what can this student do, and what can this student get out of his learning experience right now in the moment, so that way he can graduate in December. So that's kind of what we've been able to do with the Chargers to Graduate program within J-Town High School. And there are about 10 students in that classroom who I've worked with individually, just really helping them pull out things and then bring in some of their, not to say we're getting rid of all of their school things that they've done in school, but some of them didn't have any artifacts at all. So where can we pull from these aspects to make sure that the expectations are met for Journey to Success? So that's what I've been able to do within J-Town.
Then just a couple of other things. Part of the reason why we want to have milestones at every grade level is so that as educators, we don't have a choice to opt out of presenting students with authentic work experiences and making sure that students understand what the success skills are and making those connections. Nobody has a chance to opt out, because at every grade level, students have to do this. This is a requirement at every grade level. So getting the educators to the point where this is embedded in what they do every single day, that's the goal. That's where we're trying to go to. Are we there yet? Absolutely not. That's where we're headed. 2, part of what's in the playbook that we are working to build out is considerations for our diverse learners. And so we're thinking about, what does this look like for a student that may be ECE? What does this look like for an ML student who just came to Jefferson County Public Schools, has been here for 2 months? What does this look like for them? And really thinking about this and looking at students from an asset-based lens, because no matter if they've been here for 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, they come with amazing skills. And speaking multiple language in itself is a superpower. So we know that they have the skills. It's our job to figure out, how do we help them to demonstrate those skills that they have. And so I say all that to say, there are a few things in the playbook that speak to those considerations for our ML learners, our ECE learners. But we're also building out more resources so that those 20,000 ML students that we have at JCPS are not left behind. They are considered and they are honored, and their identity is a part of this work as well. So there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to making sure that this is an equitable process for everyone, and to make sure that we are considering everyone. But that is the #1 goal, is to honor the student's journey as a learner and not make it about what metrics we think are important, but making it about students being able to share from their perspective what they think is important about their journey as a learner.
What are you doing to help for teachers, in order for teachers to understand what you're trying to do, so that the teachers are on the same page that you all are on in trying to look at students, because you got teachers who are teachers, and they see curriculum, and that's what they see. They wanna know if you learned my math, they wanna know if you learned my science. They don't actually have the training from a university professor's perspective, because I didn't train them that way. They don't have that perspective that you're trying to sell right now. So what are you doing for teachers so that they understand this project and their role in helping those students incorporate who they are into the learning process?
Right, so like I spoke about earlier, we have professional learning for, which PD, professional learning, we have training for one, starting at the top, the principal. Because if the principal does not take this and internalize what this really means and make this something that's important in their building, then it's never gonna get to the teacher. So we start with the principal, and then we work very closely with another instructional leader in the building, which is the academic instructional coach. And so professional learning, training, and getting those resources in their hands, actually going through a rubric and scoring defenses of learning, actually thinking through why would this student score a 3 and this student score a 2? Actually going through and not just looking at the resources, but actually utilizing the resources with the principals and the AICs. In their school buildings, they have to have a plan for this work. They have to have a team for this work.
Every school, regardless of level.
Every school, regardless of level, every school, the alternative school, all of them. They have to have a plan. They have to have a team. This is not something that is, we're just putting it out there and hoping that you catch on. This is something that we have to be extremely intentional about. And so the professional learning that goes forward is very intentional, and it is very timed out. So that by the time we get to the end of the school year, nobody is looking around like, oh, we didn't do that yet. We haven't done our defenses. No, we got a plan that we have started. We started this work, we launched this in June, this past summer, so that principals would have time to work with their teams and really think through what this would take in their buildings, what these changes would take in their building. And then when we came back in August, we started right off with principals and AICs with the professional learning, which is ongoing. It's not a one-time thing, it's ongoing. So, and we're also looking at what are the schools that actually need the most? And the academic innovation team goes into those schools. So not every school needs the same thing. And so we want to provide the resources to the people that need it, and that those that don't necessarily need it and who are flying, we want to be able to celebrate them, highlight them, so they can see, oh, look what they're doing. They can do it, we can all do it. So a lot of professional learning is taking place. And again, it starts with the principal, and then we are expecting that those teams really get in and dig in, and they're also reaching out to us for support as needed.
I have a question, because Trey, when I was sitting down, trying to think of some questions to ask you, how does a parent get involved in this process? And I heard you say videos, and nobody's gonna say on the watch. I may scan through a few of them, but then, and I did go through the ones you did have. But how do you get that? How's local schools or the district-wide, or what is it that we can do as a community to help parents get the information that they need in order to help their child work through this process?
So I'll speak and then I'll let you go. One of the first things that we're doing is Parent-Teacher Conference Day is Monday,
Okay.
the 30th. We've asked that all schools make sure that all of the Journey to Success materials are accessible, the brochures, all of the things are accessible to parents, and that they speak with parents about this. They were also asked to do that at open house, so that parents are understanding what it is that's happening. Additionally, we're working through these types of community forums, also working with DEP through their parent speaker series, so to make sure that all of this information is going out multiple times to parents. We are also encouraging the students as they are doing the student-led conferences or their exhibitions of learning, that they're asking their parents to come. Schools are sending invitations to parents to come in and participate in these exhibitions of learning, which is really a low-stakes opportunity for them, because a student is able to share all of the great things that they're doing, and they want to share all of the great things that they're doing. They want to share their successes, and I don't know a parent that don't want to come see all of the wonderful things that a student is doing. So it's not necessarily, this is how they scored on a test, but you can actually see in living color, projects that they worked on, or, demonstrations that they can do. So we're asking the schools to make sure that parents and families are invited in for all of those exhibitions of learning as well.
And just to add to that, I was just gonna say, have the parents ask about Journey to Success. Talk to their students about the Journey to Success, and then ask the schools, okay, what is my kid doing for Journey to Success? When is this exhibition of learning going to take place? So really putting that, parents bringing it to the school into, and just really getting involved in the Journey to Success. And everything is accessible through the website, so they don't have to have a JCPS username or password. It is out there, they can log in it, they can see it, they can click, and they can even download all of the resources that are there.
We'll also be a showcase of schools.
Yes.
With the booth and with all of the materials and resources for parents to stop by, ask questions, and all of that during that time.
And is the language written in a way that, yes, parents will understand? Yes, I'm telling you, I'm still connected with some of my students who I taught at the middle school years ago. And they have children, and they feel comfortable calling me and say, what is this? I don't understand what they're asking me. And then I have to break it down to them. But so I'm wondering, is the language for them to understand? Because everybody doesn't have teacher jargon. They really don't.
Absolutely. It was written with parent and community in mind, as far as the brochures, playbook, all of those.
And my next question, and I'm not gonna belabor this, does anyone else have any more questions? You got one? Okay, I'll stop. Let you make sure.
I am on the, Parent Engagement Committee, I think we will call it at GNC. What is your suggestion for us as parents, but also it takes a village, for the families that don't have access to YouTube, or we can't quite reach? What is your suggestion to get to those families?
If you can bring them in any way, if you're having family nights or whatever at Chancey, you can bring them in, be able to show them those types of resources when you do bring them in, but then print off anything that you can, anything tangible that you can hand them. So these playbooks, the brochures, anything that the school has done that says at Chancey, this is, the schedule for exhibitions, or, anything like that, anything that you can hand them. And we're also translating resources into the top 5 languages as well. So we're trying to make the resources as accessible as possible. Any suggestions, obviously, we will definitely take.
I have a question. And I have been driving to Frankfurt, and I have been to the legislative task force things. With our district understood from the statewide legislators, how will the district show that students are meeting the district goals in the academics? How is this gonna show them that? Because I've been up there, and I tell anybody to go, you better bring some data, because that's what they're gonna ask for. Okay, so how are we gonna show them? Because they're concerned about operations, and I think it was something else, I don't remember, but how are we gonna show them that this is meaningful and that it works?
Part of that is why we are trying to provide so many resources to the schools in order to make this something that is successful, and why we are emphasizing, for example, that certified educators have to be trained in order to score defensive learning, because it can't just be, oh, well, Johnny did great and he has a 4. No, not at all. We have to go by this rubric, and it is very important for reliability, for validity, to make sure that the rubric is something that is valid, that we can actually use and say, yes, this is a actual demonstration of what students know and are able to do. But then also that we know that the people that are actually using the rubric, the scores, are using it in a way that is, that with integrity, so that they're using it in the right way in order to make our scores valid. But when we look at that whole composite score, and we're looking at their academic score, and we're looking at the percent of students who are ready to transition to the next level, that is the metric that they're looking at, who's ready and who's ready with support. So the percent of students who are ready, that's what's a part of the goals and guardrails, and so that is the metric that they're going to be looking at when we're thinking about this composite score. So again, it has to be reliable and it has to be valid, and so that's why we are working really hard to make sure that they have the resources that they need in order to ensure integrity with this whole initiative.
Any other questions? Okay. Look at rocking it up. I wanna again thank you all. Give me a hand for coming out. This information will go far, I know, because you will go out and share information with the people that you know. I also want to thank Dr. Brooks and Dr. Speaks for coming out tonight and sharing that with us. We know you all have long days, busy days, and we thank you for that. I also have a few announcements this evening about some events that will be occurring. On the 30th of September, there is Democracy in Action. 30th of September, there is Democracy in Action. Buyer Beware, Amendment 2 is a better choice, is the name of this event that's gonna happen. So if you can make it, it will be at the main library, the Centennial Room, at 5:30 to 7:30 on Monday, September 30th. Another event that's going to occur is the JCPS School Board Candidates Forum. And on October 8th, Tuesday, October 8th at 6 o'clock, we will have District 1 debate with Ms. Gail Strange and Mr. Mark Gatton. And that will be at the Urban League at 1535 West Broadway. It's from 6 to 7:30, again, that's October 8th. And on Wednesday, October 9th, from the same time, 6:30 to 7:30 at the Southwest Regional Library at District 4 debates, and that would be Ms. Barbara Lewis and Mr. Traven Bass. And I'm proud to announce that our moderator is here tonight. That's Dr. Rita Greer. That's one of the moderators. She will be there to moderate this event along with someone from the Courier Journal. Again, I want to thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you all for coming out. And we will send out information for our October forum within a week. Okay? Have a good night. Thank you.
The lights of Kentucky Performing Arts shine on more than our shows. They illuminate a pathway of discovery for all throughout our Commonwealth. A pathway of creativity, confidence, possibility, of brilliance, inspiration, curiosity, and wonder. For 40 years, Kentucky Performing Arts has led a pathway to unite the Commonwealth around the joy of discovering the arts, and will continue to shine this light far into the future.
If you do nothing else.
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 If you do